Well, hey there, it's Bobi, aka Paginator, and I'm here to introduce to you something really exciting. This is a project that I've been working on prepping for a long time now, and you guys know, those of you who have been watching my channel for a while, that I have become obsessed with junk journaling and making altered books, junk journals, etc. And I have decided that since Halloween is my favorite holiday of all time, I want to make a Halloween altered book junk journal. I am titling this project 31 Days of Craftoween, and I hope you come along with me. Okay, so I am going to be putting up a video every day in October, unless disaster strikes or I have a complete mental health breakdown. Either of which I guess is possible, but for the most part, you can plan on getting a video from me every day working on this altered book. I have a prompts list. I have all kinds of things I'm going to be telling you about. But first, I want to show you the journal itself that I'm going to be working in. Now, a little while ago, I bought this book, or this book, at a store. And the owner of the store had created the cover and added like the spider webbing and stuff. This little thing was not on it. That's something that I found at Michael's and added on myself. And then I went to start tearing pages out because when you make an altered book, you have to remove some of the pages so that it doesn't get to be like gigantic. And I realized that the book that she had made this cover for was a sewn in pages book, meaning that if you started pulling out a page, it would pull out the companion page in the opposite end. And that is just a disaster for altered bookmaking. You need one with a glued in spine. So what I did was carefully took the fabric of the cover of what this person had made off of that book and found a book with a glued in spine and transferred the cover of that onto this. It was quite a process, but I was really proud of myself for having done that. So I have taken this cover and moved it onto this book, which has glued in pages, and I have already gone through and torn out the ones that I needed. The paper clips are holding together pages that will become glued together in the future. Some might become pockets, some might not. We'll just kind of see where the creative spirit takes me. This is a book of classic poetry, specifically English poetry here, and this illustration is in it, which I think I should keep there. It is a painting by Alfred de Curzon titled Psyche, and I could see this like becoming something like haunted-y for Halloween. Now you can see in the video the shadow of my camera stand right here. I have tried moving lights around to a bunch of different angles and it's just not helping. So we're just going to have to deal with it, and I'm really sorry about that. I don't know what to do. Okay, so you may have noticed that the pages have black edges. I took my black soot distress ink. This is Tim Holtz acid-free distress ink, black soot from Ranger. And I went around all the edges, and then I took a soft brush and did ink in the spine as well, so that around each page there's black. Even on these ugly pages, which are going to get covered up, because if something should happen to peek through, I want it to be edged with black soot. Now you can see a bit of purple here, and of course the yellow of these end pages. These colors are going to get covered up. I have a very specific design and theme in mind for this junk journal. We're going black and white. Of course, gray being included in that, with one exception, which I will get to in a little bit. I may allow tiny peaks of purple in there, but mostly this is going to be black and white, Halloween centered creation. I'm anticipating that a lot of this is going to be collaging, but I might do some other things like making tags, making pockets, etc. And with that in mind, let's talk about the prompts. So I actually have 2 pages of prompts. I couldn't fit everything in one page, and I have this document linked for you below. It is a link to a Google file that you can look at and use if you would like to craft with me. All right, so on this prompt, I've got a whole bunch of prompts that I got from Barbara, and I should also say Louisa, Barbara from 49 Dragonflies and Louisa from Louisa Heinzel. Some of this come from Barbara's 2020 December daily, where she was using collaging every day. Some of it come from Louisa and Barbara's Defemember in 2021. Just different prompts using crafting. For example, here use 3 different washi tapes. Use coffee, make a text spot, hand or machine sewing, a doily, a textured background. So there's all kinds of different crafting prompts here, and some continues here. I also went on Archer and Olive, which is a bullet journal company. They have a blog of Halloween prompts. And so I got a bunch of different Halloween type of things. For example, a graveyard, a pumpkin, a broken mirror, moon phases, an eyeball, ghosts, a raven, mushrooms, blood. So there's lots of those. And then I also have 3 prompts that came in from you guys. Nikki Pearson suggested a Midnight Garden. Lazy Homebody suggested an orange page, which is going to be like completely orange, as much orange as I can make it. Hopefully with some black accents as well. And that's my one exception to the black and white rule there. And Jack Skellington was suggested by Bookworm's Buddy. So with some of my Jack Skellington and Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, there might be tiny pops of color there. And like I said, I might allow some little pops of purple just because in my mind purple is a Halloween color as well. And I love purple so much for many reasons. All right, so these are all the things that I'm going to be working with. And basically, when I sit down to do a page for each day in October, there is going to be, we're going to do a fun little ceremonial thing with some mystery figures. I have Nightmare Before Christmas mystery figures in an advent calendar from a couple years ago that I have not unboxed. So we'll open one of these at the beginning of the video, and then we'll take a look at the prompts here, and I'll choose maybe 2, maybe 3 things to play with for that day. I'm not going to schedule it out every day because then I'm going to feel trapped and not want to do this. So I'm going to give myself the freedom to choose anything here. And if I think of something extra, then I'm going to add it in. Some of you might be thinking, well, what about movies like Hocus Pocus, Halloween Town, classic horror movies like Nightmare on Elm Street, etc. Those are all great and I love them, but I didn't want to go fandom crazy, so I'm limiting myself to one fandom, which is Nightmare Before Christmas. After the Advent calendar figures run out, I should also mention I do have some mystery figures that are Universal Monsters. Because there's only 24 figures in the Advent calendar, 31 days of Halloween, we need a few more figures, so we'll be transitioning to those later on. And those mystery figures are just for like a fun sense of like occasion and ceremony, like just to add to the Halloween fun that we're having, hopefully. I'm going to try really hard also to post a picture a day on Instagram using the hashtag 31 days of Craftoween. And my Instagram handle is always in the description box below, but it is at Paginator24. If you decide to craft some of these things and you want to post pictures on Instagram, I would love it if you would tag me or use the hashtag 31 days of Craftoween. It was one when I looked that was already in existence, but I only found like 6 pictures linked to it. And anyway, it doesn't matter. People can use hashtags for whatever. So that's what I'm going to be using. Again, 31 days of Craftoween on Instagram at Paginator24. I think it would make my heart like bubble up with happiness if someone crafted along with me. So even if you're not a junk journaler, but you like want to make something inspired by this, I would love it so much. So you might be wondering what supplies I'm going to be using for this project, and I'm going to share some of those with you. As I said, I've been preparing this for a while and I've been gathering things. And I meant to actually put this out before I started this intro video, but we'll get it in there for sure before the day 1 video. This is a tablecloth that's got spider webs and then some butterflies and moths on it. And I wanted to just use it as a backdrop, like put it over the cutting board. But it's big enough that I can also just use a piece as a backdrop for the actual crafting, and then maybe use some scraps of it on the pages. It does have a few little pops of color though, so I'm really not sure that that's going to happen. But I mean, maybe I could take, like, for instance, just a small piece from this bit here that's just the black and white spider web. At Walmart, I found this Halloween creepy fabric in black and beige. And beige is close enough to white, I'm going to let it count. And these were $2.98 a piece, like I said, at Walmart. So I know that there's a place for some scraps of this to go in there. This fabric is one that I've had for a while, and that's going to go on my orange page. So it's got a print of Halloween themed old maid cards. So I'm not sure exactly which piece of that I'm going to be using here, but that is something that I can use for that orange page as like a background maybe to build on. And I also have a bunch of different black fabrics. This is a faux leather mini skirt that I got at a thrift store for 50 cents. So I can cut pieces up from that. At that same thrift store, I got 2 lace dresses. There was this one that was like their clearance rack that was also 50 cents, and it has this gorgeous black lace, and it has black satin lining, so if I decided I wanted something satiny, I could use that. And the other black lace dress I got at this thrift store is this kind of lace here. I've already used a piece of this on my football junk journal, which is something I haven't put on video because I am putting a lot of pictures of my students in there. But if you want to see my football junk journal, like let me know in the comments or something, and I might find a way to like show some of it. I also have this black velvet fabric that I've had for ages and ages and ages. I don't even know when exactly I got this fabric, but it's here. Now, I don't have to use all of this fabric, but like with all the supplies I'm going to be showing you, they're here if I need them. Here's some more creepy fabric from Walmart. I needed to do the fabric in 2 loads, and I forgot to grab this one the first time, but this is gray. And I got these little swatches of Nightmare Before Christmas fabric. I definitely want to use this. This one, it does have some purple. And like this little scene here of Jack and Sally and Zero would be so darling. We also have a graveyard here and stuff. So I'm not going to be able to completely cut color out if I decide to use this. But like I said, it's okay. It's fine to bend the rules a little bit. At the dollar store, I found this swatch of black and white spider webbing with black spiders on it. And I also found at the dollar store this with some candy corn, which could be used on my orange page as well. Now we're going to transition away from fabric and just go into kind of some random stuff. I got this Halloween eye mask at Walmart, and I thought that maybe I could decorate it with some black feathers or like some black lace and make it look like a masquerade mask if I was feeling like in a masquerade kind of mood one day. I've got 2 different napkins that I could decoupage on. So this one you really have to see it out of the package to see the beauty. Okay, so we've got the bottle with the skull and crossbones, the spider web, and of course the bird here with this beautiful text. And then I also got this napkin here. We've got some skulls and then also upside down skulls with top hats on them. All right, you ready for some more supplies? We have this broken fan. I have a bunch of these in my classroom. They're just dollar store fans for when my room is hot because we don't have air conditioning. And the kids love these, but they break them really easily. And this one has, you can see, black and orange. So maybe I can use some of this on the orange page. I know I have a lot of orange stuff. I am a classic over-preparer, so sorry. I found this silver foil lace doily at the thrift store. It was just $1. I got these little tags, and these are probably meant for like having yard sales and things, but look how tiny these ones are. They're so little, and I thought I could dye them or use distress inks or whatever and just use them on all kinds of junk journaling and such projects. So some more dollar store finds. These stickers I thought would be good for the oh, I'm gonna forget now the exact words, the Midnight Garden page. I thought I could use some of these more silver tone planters. I don't know if I mentioned this, but silver is also going to count as white in my junk journals. So it's really like black and gray and white and cream and silver. Like it's a whole mess of thoughts in my head. Okay, so this packet, I've got some orange bats and pumpkins, and then there's also some white ghosts. We'll see if we can get one out here. Like that. I thought they were cute. And these are some wooden stickers. I'm looking at the black ones specifically, and then maybe painting these ones as well. They do give a little nod to Dia de los Muertos with the like the floral design on there. I don't think I'll use the purple ones for this purpose. The boo, maybe on the orange page. I do have a few books that I can pull pages from if I need extra book pages. So this is an old copy of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which is book number 2. And it's just one that like I've had sitting around. I had it like for ages, and I have other copies of this book, some in my classroom, some at home. I just don't need this one, so I could pull pages out if I needed just some regular book paper. This book is A Robe of Skulls. It used to be in my classroom library, but kids stopped checking it out, and it has just some fun things like this little piece here with the bats that I thought maybe would be fun. There's some fun illustrations as well, so it's something I may or may not pull pieces from as I work on this junk journal. And this one is called Romantically Disturbed, Love Poems to Rip Your Heart Out. It's another one that I used to have in my classroom, and then I realized that like the poems themselves weren't all that great, but there are some really cool, creepy illustrations, and maybe some of the poems would be okay or fun to kind of stick in there. Like, look at this old lady, holy cow, and this girl. That's not all that creepy, except for when you see the axe in the girl's hand. Like, someone holding a heart wrapped in gift bows. Is this girl puking or drooling? I don't know. That's kind of weird. Whatever that is bleeding. So you can see there's just some unique illustrations. Ooh, this would be really good like for the Midnight Garden page. Ooh, you know, I have been thinking about the Midnight Garden prompt so much that I probably have also way over prepared for that one as well. Maybe we need like a couple different Midnight Garden pages. This book is called Mary's Monster. I got this copy on Thrift Books because I knew I wanted to pull it apart and use some of the illustrations in here. This is a verse novel about Mary Shelley, and it just has gorgeous black and white illustrations. Not all of them are going to be what I want, but like, look at this. There was one in particular that I really loved, but like, look at this. Creepy shadow guy, possibly Jack the Ripper. There's some headstones and a bird. So you get the idea. It's just a cool book. Oh, this one. How gorgeous would this be to like build a collage around? Ooh, yes. Some things I've had sitting around for ages are these little Halloween trinkets. We've got some little metal accents, and this one has some lace on it. I have a few other little trinkets that aren't as old, but we've got a pumpkin, a skeleton. Oh, that's brass. That's not going to work. But anyway, and I've had these black photo corners stuck around forever. I don't know if I'll use those, but it's something. And I remembered that I used to have a pen pal, a snail mail pal that was into junk journaling before I ever really like understood what it was or anything. And she sent me this. It says Halloween greetings. It says it's darling cat on here. I don't know. I'm sure I can use some pieces from what she sent me in here. Like there's these cute little cards and bigger cards. These little tiny pieces here that are dangling off of this book inside. So here's like the letter she sent me. You can see there. It was so much fun having a snail mail pen pal, and unfortunately we're not able to continue our correspondence due to her having some health issues, and I just generally hope that she's okay. She sent me some fun washi tapes. Look at all these things, like this mason jar with a skull in it. Another one of these 1313s. This whole tag has pockets on it. So here's the conflict though with this stuff is that it has lots of color on it. I really want to go for black and white. So could it be possible that I use this in a different Halloween junk journal? Either one in the future or like make 2 this year? Am I going insane? I already have way too much on my plate. Not too long ago, I posted a video about being not okay because I have way too much going on. So maybe the 2 junk journal thing is a bad idea. All right, so I have quite a bit more in terms of supplies and things that I picked up, but I don't want to like show you everything. One, because I'm sure you're bored, and two, because some of it needs to be a surprise, right? I also have my previous stash. I've got loads of black lace. I've got, in addition to those dresses I got at the thrift store, I've got tons of black lace, and some other fun things just kind of that have been around in my stash for forever. So we will head on this journey together. Sorry, I was in the middle of wrapping this up and my battery died. But what I was saying was that I really look forward to doing this, and I hope to be able to post every day in October for 31 days of Craftoween. And please feel free to like craft along with me, even if all you want to make is like one card for someone or whatever you choose to do. Let me know in the comments below if you love Halloween as much as I do, or if you hate Halloween or whatever. And I'll see you in the next video where we begin our Halloween junk journal. So have a wonderful, magical, and bookish crafting day. Adios.